In this two-part video mini-series, we're going to dive into adding AI into your n8n workflows by creating an article or a blog post generator. We'll integrate n8n first as a sequential LLM chain, and then as an AI agent, and why you would choose one way over the other. And spoiler alert, the AI agent isn't always necessarily better. We'll also look at some simple yet powerful AI prompting techniques that will result in AI giving dramatically better responses. If you're new to this channel, first of all, welcome. And a quick intro is that I started out creating automation workflows for the Canadian federal government, saving thousands of labor hours and hundreds of thousands of dollars. I now show others how to do the same for the businesses they serve through my free AI integrators community. Okay, let's get started in making a good AI article generator using n8n. If we ask ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, or any other number of AI LLMs to create an article for us, the results are usually not very impressive, mainly because it comes up with something pretty generic. Does this mean that AI sucks at writing articles? Well, no. What sucks is that we didn't give it enough training on what we deem to be a quality article. And this goes for anything that we ask it to do. You've got to think of AI as a brand new, bright-eyed intern that just joined the company. This intern has an advanced college degree specializing in whatever you're looking for. They have the skills you need, but they don't know what it is that you want and how you want it. Keep this imagery in mind whenever you're creating a prompt for AI. Now, when it comes to making a request to an LLM in n8n, it's actually really simple. Here's how to do it. Let's create a new workflow, and I'll add the first step. And I'm going to search for an LLM chain. And in this case, it's the basic LLM chain. And if I just back out of this for a minute, we can see that it's added a chat trigger by default, as well as the basic LLM chain. And this acts effectively like the AI prompt that we want to give the LLM. And you can see at the bottom of this, there's a model that we need to add. So if I click on that, we can see that there's a whole bunch of different models that we can add, including the big ones, which is like Anthropic, Google, and OpenAI. But there's also some like Grok, Mistral, Ollama as well. So there's a whole bunch of different options we can choose here. This kind of setup allows the flexibility for you to mix and match different LLMs for different prompts in any n8n workflow. You may want to call different LLMs for different purposes. I'm going to choose OpenAI because that's what everyone's familiar with. And of course, you need to add your credentials here. If you don't have a credentials account, you choose Create New Credential, and then you go to platform.openai.com. You want to sign up for an account if you don't already have one. And once you're logged in, you want to click on this Settings button up at the top right. And on the left menu bar, down at the bottom, there's API keys. So you want to click on that. And then at the top right, you want to click Create New Secret Key. You can call it n8n Project, for example, and then click Create Secret Key. Then you want to copy that key over to your n8n workflow and paste that in at the top here where it says API key. Then we want to select the model we want. And I've chosen GPT-4o Mini just because I find it extremely cost-effective and really good for testing. Now, if we go back to the LLM chain node, we can see that the default prompt is taken from the previous node automatically. So in this scenario, whatever the user types in the chat prompt will become the prompt that goes to the LLM. The other option is to define it below. So we could say in this text field, write an article about, and then, we'd put in a topic here. And so it would be like JSON.topic is what we'd want. And we'd change this to an expression. But if we drop down this prompt window again, the default shows us here that the input field is called chat input. So in that case, we would type in chat input because that's what we're going to be grabbing from the chat window. So I'm going to run this node by clicking chat at the bottom here. And I'm just going to write a topic. So in this case, I'm going to write indoor gardening. And we'll give it a minute. And we can see that the LLM has responded with an article on indoor gardening. And on the right here, there's a log. So we can see that the input is write an article about indoor gardening, which is the prompt that we had defined. And then we can see the output that OpenAI has given us here. Now, this really isn't any different from us prompting ChatGPT like I did at the beginning of this video. Another bland and generic article. But if we think about that new and eager to please intern that I mentioned earlier, a great way we can train it is by breaking it down into steps and giving examples. I actually created this workflow already to demonstrate this. Each LLM call is essentially a repeat of the LLM chain that I had showed you earlier, but each one just has a different prompt. We're breaking down each step of the article writing process and asking the LLM to focus on each step one at a time. This way, we're not overloading it with too many tasks all at once, and it can provide better outputs to us. We can then build off of each step and give better instructions for each task. This is called sequential chaining. First, it gets a set of ideas based on a specified topic, and once it gets the results back, it'll then create an outline, and then the next step is to create a headline, and the final step is to generate the article. So let's take a closer look at it. So the trigger is when a chat message is received. And then after that, there's an edit fields node. And that's where I created a parameter called topic. And if you recall, it's looking for specifically chat input from the previous node. But then moving forward, it's going to be looking for a value called topic. Then if we look at ideas, so this one says, we will be writing an article about, and then there's JSON topic. And then it says, come up with 10 interesting ideas about this topic that we could write a thought-provoking 1,000-word article. List the 10 ideas only and nothing else. Then I want it to create an outline for me. So I say here, select one idea listed below that our target audience would be most interested in knowing more about the following topic. It specifies the topic. Write an engaging, comprehensive, and actionable outline for a 1,000-word article. You must include counter-arguments, criticisms, and negative points against the topic, and then reaffirm your argument. Output the idea you selected and the outline in JSON format and nothing else. Use the following JSON format. So I've given it an example of how I want it. And then it says, here is the list of ideas. And so that's where I take the text from the previous node and it'll list out those 10 different ideas and effectively choose one of them to create the outline. The next step is to go and ask OpenAI to create a headline. So then in the headline, the prompt looks like this. Use the intriguing headline examples list below. Create one intriguing headline for the following topic content outline. The main goal of the headline is to entice the reader to continue reading the article. We will write an article based on this topic and the headline you output. So then I create a list of these intriguing headline examples. And thinking about the intern analogy that I mentioned earlier, giving an intern a bunch of examples of what I'm looking for can really go a long way to it producing something that I like or that I'm expecting. And so this list of 20 are some proven headlines that are known to work. And then I say, here's the topic content outline, and then there's json.text, which again is taking the text from the previous prompt. So after creating the headline, it then goes and creates the article. So let's see what the article prompt looks like. The following is the headline and outline for an award-winning article regarding the following topic. And that's where we specify the topic again from the very beginning. Your task is to write an approximately 1,000-word article, write content for each section in the outline that will collectively flow together as a complete and congruent article. The final article should perfectly answer or explain the headline and end with a compelling call to action. Here's the headline, and so I take the headline that was from the previous node, and here's the outline. So I grab that also from the outline node. So a lot of this text, this type of prompting has come from trial and error and just personal experience. It's not the end-all be-all, but it's just a guide for you to get started with. And lastly, I just have this edit fields here. The chatbot is expecting a response. That's what it's looking for by default. So we need to create this in the edit fields, and whatever the final text is, we should put it into the response. And so this is what the chatbot will receive and display on the screen. Now, being able to prompt this step by step and creating it sequentially one after the other is way more powerful, because then you can get very nuanced into specifying your instructions and giving a lot more detail, and then having the AI just work specifically on that one thing, instead of asking it to do a whole series of steps in one prompt and then trying to get it to do each of those steps very well. Oftentimes, just like a human, it might do the first step really well, and then the next few steps it kind of like just glosses over, and then the final step it does really well as well. But that's not what we're after. We want quality output from each step in order to produce a very high quality article. So let me go ahead and save this, and I'll click Chat, Indoor Gardening. Now this is going to take a while because it is going through each of those LLM chain nodes. So here's the response. So the topic is indoor gardening, and it is in markdown format. It's hard to read here, but if I scroll down, here's the output. The surprising psychological benefits of indoor gardening transform your mood and reduce stress in houseplants. So it looks like it's taken an angle with indoor gardening for your mental health. Section 1 is about stress reduction, the calming effect of plants, active gardening as mindfulness, improved mood and mental health, connection to nature and its benefits, sense of purpose and accomplishment, the responsibility of plant care. And then there's counter arguments, which is what I did specify asking it to do when writing the article. Time, money, and costs, challenges of plant care, neglecting other activities. Just from breaking down the article writing process into individual steps, including coming up with various ideas of what to write about for a given topic, and giving it examples of what we want, we can get AI to output significantly better content than if we were to try to do the same thing with a single prompt. And with n8n, we can quickly chain these LLM requests together so that it's easy to repeat on demand. So in this video, we looked at integrating AI into n8n as a sequential LLM chain. The way n8n integrates queries makes it super easy and flexible to mix and match any LLM to any prompt within the same workflow. We also learned about breaking a task into a series of steps with detailed instructions for each one, and asking AI to accomplish each step one at a time. Kind of like what you'd do when you're training an intern who's new to the company. I've saved this n8n workflow and the AI prompts I've used in this video, which you can access in my AI Integrators community. It's completely free to join, so check out the link in the description below. Please remember to like this video and check out part 2 of this mini-series, where we'll create an AI agent to write articles for us. And we'll compare the differences between these two and why we'd use one over the other. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.